Hey guys, this is Stephen Thompson and welcome to this webinar presentation. I'm very happy that you're here and I'm excited to share with you this information so you can see for yourself if this is something that's a fit for you or something that you believe could benefit you and your family. So let's get started. Now let me just ask you this question. What if you could offer people a solution to the financial problems that they face today and would just provide them with some options? Is that something you'd be open to hearing more about? Or maybe you'd be open to hearing about some options for you and your family. And here are just a few of the problems that people are facing today. You know, a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck, and it just seems like folks are having a harder time setting any money aside, whether that's for a nest egg or saving for retirement. And I talk to a lot of moms and dads out there, and one of the things that they're struggling with is the ability to be able to set some money aside for the kids' education. Now, as a parent, you don't want your children to have to go through the same things that you went through, and everybody knows that it's not uncommon at all for a person to be 30, 40, even $80,000 more in debt by the time they finish their formal education. And that's how a lot of people are having to start out in life. And then you know what happens next. You add a car payment, you get married and have a house payment, start a family, and is it really any wonder? Does it really surprise anyone that there's not enough left over? Personal debt's at an all-time high, and that seems to be the case year after year. Personally, I can't recall the last time that I heard that credit card debt and consumer debt was at an all-time low. The purchasing power of the U.S. dollar is in decline, and that's been going on for a very long time. And here in just a moment, I'm going to share with you some examples of that. So there are a lot of people out there that are concerned about their future and looking for ways to improve their financial outcome, especially in the economic climate that we currently find ourselves in. Here's a statistic that all of you are aware of. 53% of all Americans believe that they will not have enough money to retire. Like my friend Ray, I believe that that's something that doesn't necessarily just affect us here in the States. I think if you asked around, you would find that there are a lot of people around the globe who probably feel the same way. And here is just some examples of how the U.S. dollar has declined. If you had $100 in 1900, in 2010, that same $100 would be worth $3.80, and that represents a 96% decrease in the purchasing power. One thing that I find interesting, when I first saw this graph, I couldn't help but notice, and some of you may have been around and remember when it happened. I was just a little kid. When we came off the gold standard, and you can see here how dramatically that has affected the value of the U.S. dollar, and I always found that very interesting. And here's just an example of the purchasing power of paper dollars versus an asset that actually has a real intrinsic value. In 1966, you either would have paid 2,500 paper dollars, or you could have paid 2,500 silver dollars, you know, the silver Morgan dollars or Liberty dollars, and that would have gotten you a brand new 1966 Mustang. Fast forward to today, that same 2,500 paper dollars would basically just be your down payment, whereas those 1966 silver dollars would be enough to buy 3 brand new Mustangs, and you would have enough left over to take you and your family on a pretty darn nice vacation. The reason why that is, since 1966, paper money has declined by 80%. Did you guys know that? Whereas by contrast, silver has increased by 300%. I love this quote by Albert Einstein. We can't solve problems using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. You know, Albert, he was a pretty sharp guy, but you certainly don't have to be an Einstein to understand what he was talking about there. So if you haven't reached the point to where you want to be in life yet, or maybe you're experiencing some of the financial problems that we talked about, maybe, and I'm just throwing this out there, maybe it's time to look for some new solutions and just take a look at some other options. And one of those options that I want to talk to you tonight is about a company called Numis Network. In 2009, a company called Numis Network was started by three very successful businessmen. They came together with the world's leading numismatic expert. Now, if you don't know what numismatic means, I'll explain that to you here very shortly. But the expert I'm talking about is a guy that you probably have seen and maybe have heard of. His name is Mike Mezak. And if you've heard that name, he's the guy that you see on the Home Shopping Network selling all the graded gold and silver coins. He's considered to be the leading expert in the industry, and he has sold over 1 billion coins in his career, and no one on the planet has come close to doing what Mike has done. So they all came together, and they created a solution that helps people build assets. And understand what we're talking about here is we're talking about trading some of your paper dollars that have been depreciating in value for some silver dollars that have appreciated in value. And by the way, you do not have to be a savvy investor or be super rich to be able to do this. I've worked as a paramedic for 18 years, and just in case you didn't know, paramedics don't make a whole lot of money. The pay is about the same, and in some cases less than a teacher salary, so they created a solution that is affordable for everyone. Our mission is to help families and neighbors actually build assets and increase their net worth during these financial difficulties. And if someone chooses to, you can also earn a residual income while doing both. Our goal is to give away $10 million in assets over the next 5 years, and we're currently in the U.S., Canada. Last year we opened up in the U.K. We just recently opened up for business in Australia, and we're taking it worldwide. Now, what is it that the wealthy people do? How did they become wealthy? Well, what they do is they exchange as much of their paper money, which has no real value, for something that actually does. And now, as a result of what Numis Network has done, here is an option for average, everyday people like you and like me to be able to do the same thing. We help people create their very own asset development program. Now, let me just ask you this question. How many of you out there would like to own something that will not only hold its value, but historically has increased in value and is backed by a 100% guarantee? Is that something that would interest you? Or let me ask it this way. Can you think of any other product that does that? Can you do that with your car? Can you do that with your clothes or your TV? Or can you just think of anything that allows you to do that? Well, I'm going to share with you and explain exactly how you can. The way that we do this is through a monthly auto ship with a program called the Silver Premier Club. Each and every month you receive a perfectly graded silver coin from the world's leading government mints. These coins, they are authenticated and certified by third-party grading companies. They have the precious metal content and the precious metal value, plus they have the numismatic or the collector's value. Now, what does numismatics mean? What that means is unlike gold and silver bullion, which only has the precious metal value, and that is whatever the current spot price of gold and silver is, numismatic coins, they retain a higher value because they are perfectly graded and considered to be in mint condition. I don't know if any of you have ever seen the TV show Pawn Stars. It's on the History Channel. But occasionally on the show, someone will bring in a gold or silver coin. And if you've ever heard someone say, that's in perfect mint condition, well, that's what an MS-70 grade means. And if you can think about diamonds for a second, what a lot of people don't know is coins, like diamonds, have different grades. And the higher the grade of the coin, the more it is worth. And all the coins that come from the Silver Premier Club and the coins available through Numis Network are the highest grade possible. Now, Numis has done something that is just absolutely unprecedented in the industry. And when I first saw this, it really got my attention. Now, whether you're looking to just be a customer and collect some silver assets, or if you just want to buy some gold and silver coins, or if you're wanting to build a business, Numis Network has a 5-year, 100% buyback guarantee. And what that means is after 5 years, Numis will pay you 100% of what you paid for the coin, even if the value of that coin has gone down. Now, I don't have any idea what the price of gold and silver will be 5 years from now. I've never really been very good at predicting markets. Historically, I can tell you that gold and silver has appreciated in value, but you know what? It really doesn't matter, because what they've done with this guarantee is they've eliminated all the risk. So 5 years from now, if you need some cash, they'll pay you exactly what you paid. A question that I get asked quite often is, yeah, but Steve, what if the price of silver goes up? Okay, what if the price of silver goes up? Let's say for 5 years from now, silver goes up to $200 an ounce. It's possible. 5 years from now, that could happen. Well, you might want to sell some of your coins. You don't have to sell them back to Numis Network, and we can offer you some avenues for you to use to liquidate your coins should that be the case. Now, personally, what I'm going to do, I'm keeping all of mine, and I plan on passing them on to my kids and my grandkids, because I want them to be able to start out in life having some assets that actually have a real intrinsic value. Now, here's the other thing that I just find so awesome about this. When I was looking to start a business, I didn't want to expose my family to a lot of risk, especially in this economic climate. Now, I don't know of any other business out there. I'm not saying there's not any. I'm just not aware of any other business where you are guaranteed to, worst case scenario, break even and have all the tax advantages of a home office while building your net worth. If I can use this analogy, just imagine if you want to invest in a franchise, okay? I really don't know what franchises go for nowadays, $250,000, $1 million, or whatever the out-of-pocket expense is. And then 5 years later, you go up to Joe, the guy who sells the rights to the franchise, and you say, Joe, man, you know what? Man, this really just isn't working out. So how about you give me my money back? Do you think Joe would do it? Probably not. The other thing that I think is pretty cool is, like a lot of people, I invest in mutual funds. I've purchased stocks and even own a few duplexes, and there's not a time that I can recall that my broker or my financial advisor ever told me that they could guarantee me that I will not lose money by purchasing any of those assets. Now, what could be better than building assets and increasing your net worth with a 5-year, 100% guarantee? Well, how about doing it for free? For every 3 people you refer to the Silver Premier Club, you get your silver asset each and every month for free, and there's no limit to how many times you can do that. And what that means is you refer 3 people, you get your silver coin for free. You refer 6 people, you get 2 coins, 9 people, 3 coins, and so on and so forth, as many times as you want. So if you want to build up a collection of assets without it costing you any money, you absolutely can. Now, for all of you watching this webinar, you're going to fall into one of 3 categories. You are either someone who just wants to exchange some of your paper money and get some silver assets that actually have a real intrinsic value, or you like the idea of building up a collection of assets for free and you just want to refer people to the Silver Premier Club, or you fall into category number 3. You want to be able to do both of those and earn a residual income and build a business at the same time. So for the next few minutes, I want to speak to those of you who are open to building a business and with our help, and learning how to build a long-term residual income. So let me just start by asking you this one question. What would an extra $1,000 a month each and every month do for you? What would that do? Money really is nothing more than just printed paper. And what I'm asking is, what would that allow you to do for you and your family? Would that help solve any of the financial problems that we talked about? Maybe pay off some bills? Would it allow you to spend a little less time at work and more time with your family? Or maybe you would actually be able to start saving for your retirement or your kids' education? Or maybe you just want to have some more paper money that you could exchange for assets and keep building your net worth and improving your financial security even faster. So as we move forward from this point, I just want you to think about some of those things and what that can mean for you. And here's just a few of the advantages from my perspective on having your own Numis business. Number one, the product. The product is money. Gold and silver has never been in such high demand as it is right now. It's a product that no one has enough of, and unlike other network marketing companies, unlike a juice or a vitamin or a shake, it's a product that you actually wouldn't mind having a garage full of. I don't know anyone who wouldn't want to have a garage full of gold and silver. You can work from wherever you want, whenever you want. There's no office to go to each day. And one thing I think is really cool is you can actually build your business while you're on vacation. My wife and I, we just got back from a cruise. We left out of New Orleans and went to Key West and Freeport and Nassau and had a great time. And if you choose, you can actually build this business while you're off doing fun stuff. And the other thing that I think is really cool about all this is, whether or not you build a large business, you're still collecting and building an asset each and every month. I want to talk to you a little bit about some tax advantages, and as most of you are aware, with a home business, unlike your job, you can actually have enough in tax savings from having your very own home office to pay for your monthly auto ship. It just blows my mind that I get a tax write-off for collecting an asset each and every month. So here's some examples, and these are pretty conservative, and this is what you can do with a home office. You can write off a percentage of your utility bills each month. How many of you spend $60 or more on your cell phone? Or how many of you spend $1,200 a year or more in travel expenses? In this example, just the tax savings will allow you to pay for your monthly auto ship, which, by the way, that's also an expense you can write off. If you're not getting yours for free, that is, through the Refer 3 Get Yours Free program. But in the example, the tax savings is $305 a month, and that will literally pay for your auto ship almost 3 times over. So how do you build your business and earn a residual income? Well, it's a very simple 3-step process. You invite people to view a presentation just like this one. We have live webinars several times throughout the week. You'll have recorded webinars for you to send people to. But I want to talk to you just for a second about step number 1. I see a lot of people from other network marketing companies, and I see what they're doing. And just in my opinion, I think a lot of people go about the process the wrong way. Now, a lot of people believe that what you're supposed to do in network marketing is try to be some kind of great salesperson, be a pitch guy. Well, that's not what I'm going to teach you. It's not your job to try to convince or chase or make a bunch of sales pitches. And I believe that's one reason why the people who do that don't have a whole lot of success. So you're not going to be harassing your friends and family and trying to ram something down their throat and try to force them to do something that they really don't want to do. That's not what we teach you at all. All you do is simply invite people in a non-salesy, laid-back, easy way that we teach you. You invite them to take a look at a presentation, and then you follow up with them. Now, some of the people that you follow up with will have watched the presentation, and some won't, and that's okay. Step number 3, you enroll them either as a customer or as a rep, and it's really that simple. Now, you do have to put forth the effort, but the work is not hard, and it's something that literally anyone can do. Now, how do you get paid? Well, there's actually 16 different ways Numis Network will pay you. I'm not going to go over all 16 of them today, but I want to talk about just a couple of them with you. You get immediate income up front, paid weekly, from either the retail profits. You know, some of you are going to want to focus mainly on just selling gold and silver coins, and that's fine. We can show you how to do that. The rest of you are going to be more focused on building the business and the residual income, and we can show you how to do that too. And you receive upfront commissions and bonuses for doing just that. Here's one of the compensation plans. Again, I'm not going to go over all 16 of them. Executive, there's you. You enrolled as an executive. You follow the 3-step process that we teach you. And when you enroll another executive, you receive $100. And you receive that $100 commission each and every time you enroll an executive, as many times as you want and as often as you want. Now, after your 3rd executive, things really start to get interesting. Starting with your 4th executive and beyond, you are coded matched with that person, meaning every time they enroll an executive, they receive $100, and so do you. Not only are you coded matched to that person and receive $100 every time they enroll someone, you're also coded matched to their first 3, and their first 3, and their first 3, receiving $100 each and every time, and this is totally unlimited. And here are some examples of what I'm talking about for you. And you can see through the power of leverage how quickly this can add up for you. An unlimited number of times. You also receive a residual income each and every month, based not only on the work that you did last month and the month before, but it's also based on the volume of everyone on your team. And I just want to talk to you briefly about what the power of leverage is, and just to give you an example of how your residual income will grow through the power of leverage, just think about this for a second. Whatever it is that you're doing right now, maybe you're a school teacher or a construction worker, or maybe you're a financial planner. If you're like most people, you go to your job, you work for 2 weeks, and the company that you work for pays you in the form of a paycheck. And if you want to get another one, like most of us do, you have to keep showing up for work, right? Well, wouldn't it be nice if you could clone 3 of you and receive the pay of 3 yous plus the effort that you put in yourself at your job? Wouldn't that be nice? What about 9 of you? Or how about 27? Or even 81? What would you do if there were 81 yous running around at your job and you got paid for it? If you had 81 clones of you, you probably wouldn't be going to your job anymore, would you? Well, that's just an example of the power of leverage and how your residual income can grow each and every month. Numis also offers some perks for its executives. Once you achieve the rank of 6-star, and right now it's really not important that you know what that is yet, but Numis will pay you a $5,000 bonus, and you have your choice between leasing a Series 6 or a Series 7 BMW, which Numis will pay for, or you can choose to have a $18,000 vacation package. Now, me personally, I'm a vacation guy. You know, I love to travel and do fun things with my kids and my family on someone else's dime. And yeah, I just don't have a want or a need for a $100,000 automobile. But if you're into cars and you want a $100,000 Series 7 BMW, well, Numis will absolutely get one for you. We also have several luxury trips and vacations throughout the year that are easy to qualify for, totally paid for by Numis. There was just a trip to an all-inclusive resort in Cancun, and in January we are going on a 6-day, 7-night Royal Caribbean cruise, all of it 100% paid for by Numis Network. Here's how you get started. You join as an executive and you get the Numis Success System and the Fast Track Collector's Kit. The Numis Success System, with that you get your own personalized websites, you have your own online store, you become part of a team that will train you and provide you with what is, in my opinion, the best support that the industry has to offer. The Fast Track Collector's Kit, you receive your first MS-70 graded silver asset, a coin attaché case to keep your collection in, the Coins Are Cool DVD set, a customized forever crystal, annex certificate, and you also receive preferred pricing below the cost of retail on all the gold and silver coins that Numis has to offer. And you receive all of this for the cost of $495. Now, as I mentioned just a few moments ago, right now, the people that I'm speaking with are those of you on this webinar who are looking to build a better life for you and your family. You want to build up some assets, you want to increase your net worth and earn an income while doing it. And as I said before, if you're on this webinar and all you want to do is build some silver assets through our Silver Premier Club, I'm more than happy to provide you with that option. Or maybe you want to be able to collect some assets for free just by referring people to the Silver Premier Club. You know, that's fine too. And you might just be a collector and you want to buy some gold and silver coins at a great price. You know, that's fine. But right now, I'm talking to those of you who are looking to get more out of life. More time, more freedom, and you reached a point where you realize that life is just too short to not be able to do what it is that you want to do. And to those of you, I want you guys to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Okay? I believe that in any business, the most valuable asset you have is your reputation. It's not time, it's not money. Your most valuable asset is your reputation. And I'm a person that I certainly protect mine, and I hope you do too. The last thing that I want is for someone to spend their hard-earned dollars and come in having some false expectations. So, having said that, I just want you to know and understand that if you're looking to just join something and then expect $1 million to fall into your lap overnight, well, that's not what this is, and I just can't help you. So here is our income disclosure, and what this represents is the average incomes and how long it took for people to get there. And you can see here the rank of 3-star, and what that means is you enroll 3 executives. The average annual income for our 3 stars is $6,240. Now, don't quit your day job yet, okay? Not just yet. Just hold on. But, you know, you haven't won the lottery, but what you have done is you've added $6,240 to your annual income. You're building your assets each and every month. You're increasing your net worth. And at the same time, you're receiving some nice tax benefits just by having a home office. And the average time it took you to do that by following a 3-step process is 61 days or 2 months. At the four-star director, things get a lot more interesting with an average annual pay of $41,184 annually. It's taken our four-star directors on average 101 days, or roughly that's close to 3.5 months, to get to that level. Some of you may be able to fire your boss at that level. Five-star directors are earning a six-figure salary after about 12 months. Six-star directors are earning multiple six figures after about 19 months or so. And by the way, these are people who are building their business part-time. I started very part-time. And when I started my Numis business, I was working about 96 hours, sometimes 120 hours a week at my job. So I started very, very part-time. Most people do not start out full-time in this business. Now, why would I even go over this with you? Well, it's because, I remember when I was looking at home business opportunities, both online and offline, I looked at a lot of them and I talked to a lot of people. For 18 years, I've worked as a paramedic, and I just wanted a better life for my family. I liked network marketing as a business model. I liked the idea of leveraging my time and efforts. And as a paramedic, I had a very strong need to and desire to want to help people. And, that's one of the coolest things about this industry that I enjoy. You have the opportunity to help a lot of people if you choose to do so. And when I was looking at these business opportunities and talking to these people about it, I basically just wanted to know one of two things. Is this something that I can do, and are you someone who's going to help me be successful at it? But, it just seemed like that what I got in return was a lot of hype and a lot of empty promises. A lot of the people had just had the same story, and when I would talk to them, they would say the same thing. Their story was that, that they're making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, and oh, it's so easy. All you got to do is just sign up, and we've done all the work for you. Has anyone ever told you that? If they do, my advice is to grab your wallet and turn around and go the other direction. That's a lesson that I've learned the hard way. And everyone online, it seemed like that their story wasn't much better. Everybody marketing online, it just seemed like that they were a former homeless drug addict who was in foreclosure and bankruptcy. They dropped out of college, they flunked out of high school, and next thing you know, they become an overnight millionaire on the internet in their early 20s. Well, I wasn't any of those things. I was just an average, ordinary guy who wanted to be a part of a team, and I was looking for someone and something that was real. I wanted very much to build a better life for my family. I was tired of working 96 to 120 hours a week. I was tired of breaking my kid's heart. I was tired of my wife having to do everything by herself, and I was just tired of it all. And it wasn't until I found the leadership at Numis Network that I found what it was that I was looking for. See, I didn't want to be just another number on someone's downline. So I want you to understand that this is something that you're going to have to put effort into if you want to build a business and if you want to build a large residual income. The good news is the work is not difficult if you follow the three-step process that we teach you. The work is not hard, and like I said before, it's something that literally anyone can do. I want you to know that you would be a part of a successful team, and we're all here to help you every step of the way, but you have to put effort into it. And here are just a few of your future teammates who've done just that. If you're wanting to have more freedom, if you want to be able to have the time to do the things that you want to do, have more time to spend with your family. I hope your family is number one in your life. As a paramedic, being a paramedic, you can learn a lot about life. And I always had as part of my duties, we would sometimes transport terminally ill patients to hospice or back home, and I would get to talk and visit with these people. And one thing that I noticed that all of them had in common is when they would look back and take stock of their life, it wasn't the things that they did that they regret as much as the things that they didn't do. I don't know anyone that when they were coming to the end just wished that they had spent more time at work and less time away from their kids. Your kids are only small for a certain amount of time, and you only have your parents here, and when that's gone, and you shouldn't ever take it for granted. Or maybe you're someone who just wants to have better control of your finances. Or maybe you're passionate about helping other people do the same thing. So if any of those things appeal to you, then I want to invite you to be a part of this with us, and together we can do some really great things. At the end of the day, all I really am is just a paramedic who is open to a side project that didn't interfere with what it was that I was currently doing. I put forth the effort, and I literally stood on the shoulders of giants and built a successful, sustainable business. And if you're willing to put forth the effort yourself and be consistent, the key is being consistent, there's no reason why you can't do the same thing. And one thing that's very important to me is I want everyone on my team, no matter what level they're at, whether they're just getting started or if they're already a huge success, to know that they are in fact an important part of my team and how much I appreciate them. So I like to do a few things in addition to all the bonuses and perks that Numis gives them. One thing I do is I like to brag about my teammates and recognize their accomplishments on my blog. And whenever someone qualifies for the Silver Eagle bonus, what that is it's a bonus that you qualify for by enrolling 2 executives your first 30 days, and that makes you eligible to receive a share of the company's profits. Whenever someone on my team qualifies for that, I send them a MS-70 graded American Silver Eagle. One of the coolest things that I like to do is when someone on my team reaches the point where they can quit their jobs, my wife and I, we like to rent a limo, and on their last day of work, the limo takes them to work and picks them up at work and picks up their family, and they go out to a nice dinner on us. When someone hits the rank of 6-star, Numis already pays them a $5,000 bonus, and they can choose between the BMW or the vacation package. So I send them $2,500 cash to use for gas in their new car or for spending money whenever they go on their vacations. And when someone hits Ambassador, I will send them and their family to Atlantis Resort in the Bahamas. So here's my promise to you. Just about every success story I know of begins with someone believed in me. And I had a lot of people believe in me even when I did not believe in myself. Now, I will always believe in your greatness. I may not always tell you what you want to hear, but I will never give up on you. You're not just another number to me. I have a huge amount of respect for anyone looking to provide a better life for their families because I know how important that was to me. And I want you to know that if I expect you to work, I have no less of an expectation of myself. So I want to invite you to be a part of this journey with me, and we'll go down that road together. And what happens next is if you're watching this webinar live, I've already spoken with you. I will follow up with you at our scheduled time. If you're watching the recording, right below, fill out your information. I'll get into contact with you soon. I don't share your information with anyone. I'm very protective of your privacy, and I'll be more than happy to visit with you about either joining the Silver Premier Club as a customer or helping you start your business. But if you're ready to start now, there's a Join Now button below that will direct you to another website, so you can go ahead and get started, and I will contact you right away. I'm Stephen Thompson, and I want to thank you for watching. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.